You're listening to For Wales, See Wales. And if you want to know what's going on in Welsh politics at the moment, you're in exactly the right place. But for the time being, just give us a minute to hear from our sponsors.
You know what I drove past today on my way into work?
Go on.
A massive billboard for Hello Starling.
Our sponsor.
Our sponsor.
Oh, love it. Because Hello Starling are very, very good at getting attention.
They got my attention, nearly crashed the car.
We're so grateful that you're here.
Yeah.
So Hello Starling are media planning and buying specialists. So they specialise in getting your brand product, whatever it is, in front of people. And they do it in loads and loads of different ways. But what I kind of want to talk about this week is about how it's really easy to just spend money putting products out there and getting advertising, stuff like that. What you need is measure to understand whether it's worked or not. And that is, when I've worked with them, what I've really, really liked is essentially how much they are all about valuing the right metrics. Because there is a trap that you can fall into, especially, and this is a big thing for like online news, where we'll sell an advert and it will say, for instance, oh yeah, 1 million people saw your advert.
Yeah.
But I mean, how often, either in the digital world or in like the actual real world where the humans are, how often do you see stuff and you see it, but that doesn't mean that's done anything.
No, you see it for a third of a second, and you kept scrolling or you kept walking. It doesn't really count, does it?
Totally.
Yeah. The great thing is, if you have used them to plan your campaign, you know that you're going to be able to measure the success of that campaign in a way that actually stands up, and you know that whether you've got a return on that investment. And because they do this for all their campaigns, they know what works.
With some sweet, sweet data. That's what's nice. Some proof. Some evidence.
Yes.
Nice.
If you are a marketing manager, you are a chief exec, you want to highlight your brand or your product, please go to hellostarling.co.uk.
You'll get the eyes of Robin Morgan. I spotted them. Hello and welcome to For Wales, See Wales with me, Robin Morgan.
Me, award-winning journalist Mel Owen.
Me, Will Hayward.
Straight up, I just...
Oh,
Mean.
But I am.
you are. It's rare that I have nothing to say. It's really.
We're all just swimming in your wake, Mel.
Wow.
I know. Well, nice to see you guys.
You too. How many journalists have you funded this week?
Absolutely not.
There we go.
How about you? I know you exactly. Or
Robin's
Team Will.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird, isn't it? The dynamic has changed.
Taken aback.
I really like your nails.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Green and coral, green and red, very patriotic.
Very Tic Tacs.
Very tic tac. Yeah, I'll take that.
Bit of ASMR.
Do you remember did she shake her Tic Tacs at me video?
Yeah. I once worked with someone who I think said that they came up with the pot noodle Bombay bad boy slogan, which was, I think it was the slag of all snacks. This is very sort of mid 2000s. Is slag okay to say?
At the same time as Yorkie was not for girls.
Yeah.
I don't. It's slag. I don't think it's getting made today as an ad.
Yeah.
My dad thinks that slut is an untidy person, right?
I think that's
Producer Daryl's nodding.
Really? Is this a
Do you
thing?
know a lot of sluts?
Well, because I remember a former member of UKIP saying something at one of the UKIP
they didn't
conferences.
clean behind the fridge.
Clean behind the fridge, and he talked about that word.
Really?
Yeah. So did it used to be referring to a woman, I presume, Daryl?
My dad genuinely at one point would shout, "I'm fed up of this sluttish behaviour in this house." And I'd be like, whoa.
Hard not to say that personally.
Do feel attacked here. So slag, slut, I just think, we've gone in hard in the first 30 seconds of the pod. I think probably not. I just think we don't use them, really.
Fair enough. Fair. Where have you been this week?
I've been at I'd say a very slutty Labour conference because it was such a mess. I've been at the Labour conference in Liverpool.
Sure.
Which sorry, do you not believe me?
You brought back some merch. You brought back Mel's glasses, which is wonderful. So
Mel,
they are very Labour.
They are lovely.
For audio listeners, Mel's glasses are the Red Welsh way made into glasses.
Really like
they really are, aren't they?
Strong.
All these people are like, well, we know which way Mel voted. Just throw them
never
off the
know.
set. You'll never know.
With my kneecap nails and my Labour glasses, you'll never know.
My kneecap. BBC will never have me again, Robin, please.
Just put little balaclavas over them. Little cute.
I think we should have a chat about the Welsh. God, you can tell I'm conditioned, aren't I? I'm like the opposite of the rest of the media in the UK. I only talk about Wales. I refuse to talk about. Let's talk about the Labour conference in Liverpool. Let me pen a picture for you. It's in Liverpool. It's at the ACC. All the great and the good of Labour politics have descended upon the great city of Liverpool, and they are meeting to talk about what the party's doing, where the party's going, the threats posed by reform. And at every single UK Labour conference, there's a thing called Welsh Night.
Welsh Night. I love the sound of that.
I know. So Welsh Night is when the Labour MPs, the MSs, and assorted staffers, supporters, a couple of hacks like me and Mel, will...
The scowl he just did at me.
It's like he's been buddied with somebody like a newer journalist, and he's had to show them the ropes, and it's you, and you're like, we're the same. We're the same.
So all of these people will be in a room, and there will be a couple of speeches, one from Joe Stevens, Secretary of State for Wales, one from Eluned Morgan. Keir Starmer shows up to do a bit of a speech.
We acknowledge Wales exists then?
We'll get to it.
You thought it was Scotland night.
Yeah.
And so I go in there, and then on the side, on the stage, there's like a lectern, but there's also a series of musical instruments. There's a large harp. There is a fiddle.
No.
And there was. It's not. Oh, I'm going to make myself look so naive here. It's not like a bagpipe, but it's kind of a bagpipey kind of thing.
I'm already out. I hate this already.
Called,
Would you have done like Grandpa Simpson in like straight out the front door?
Literally, I've seen the bagpipe thing and I'm like, no thank you.
No, thank you.
So what's the Welsh version of a ceilidh? Is it twmpath?
A twmpath.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. Please. They didn't have a twmpath.
So
No, is that what you...
yeah.
They had a twmpath.
So you get there.
We're not a serious nation.
Because on
No, we're not.
So I took the mick out of this in the newsletter, and someone messaged me saying that it was quite disrespectful of Welsh culture. And I want to be really clear. I love a ceilidh. I go to Edinburgh every January for a ceilidh. Like, I'm not knocking ceilidhs, twmpaths, in any of their forms. What I'm saying is...
We'll have it out of context. I'm not knocking ceilidhs and twmpaths. It's like on the weirdest iPhone notice apology of all time.
I just want to say, I'm going to go away and I'm going to learn and I'm going to grow.
Yeah.
What I am mocking is how absolutely lame this thing was. In the programme, it said, come to Welsh Night, there'll be live music. I was like, oh, go along and see that.
Adwife. Lovely.
So let's what did you say?
Adwife.
They're a great Welsh band.
Oh,
yeah.
My God, I'm such a fraud.
Yeah.
I'm suggesting they play the Labour Party conference. I'm not sure that would happen.
No, probably don't love that.
Yeah, they're probably distancing themselves from those comments quite quickly.
So you get there and there's speeches. So first speech is from, it's always kind of a bit rowdy because there's booze there. People really actually don't really care about the speeches too much. Like, it's not like a kind of party conference speech where people stand in front and they'll clap and like they're nodding and they're going, yeah, this is really good. Oh God, yes, look at how backing I am of my party. This is, I'm having a drink with my friends. Why are they talking to me? Joe Stevens gave a speech, and then Keir Starmer came in. Obviously, he came in, came out. He didn't like hang around and speak to people because I think he had to reboot. But he stood on the stage. The first thing he said was he spoke about the threat from reform a lot. Didn't mention Plaid Cymru once in his entire speech. It's either deliberate because they're like, well, we don't want to give oxygen to Plaid Cymru, or it's he doesn't know they exist, or doesn't realise where all these voters are going. But the thing I found most enjoyable is he really struggles with the First Minister's name. He called her Eleanor at one point.
No.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Yeah, and it was singing it. He said it, but he said it in like 3 or 4 different ways.
Yeah.
So, Eluned. Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely fine.
Great.
We had like, we had Eleanor, and I looked across to someone who works with the party, quite senior, not a politician, and they were like, yeah, he does always struggle with her name.
Oh, no.
I know.
You know.
It's not much to ask. it's not for one of his main colleagues, one of his most important colleagues, arguably. It's so disrespectful.
Is that why he didn't talk about Plaid? Because he couldn't pronounce Cymru?
Yeah, he was like, I'm not even trying.
Yeah, look, we need to combat the threat of plaid.
Yeah. Too much plaid.
There's just too much
in
plaid.
our clothing.
He then went to leave the stage. Now, the stage was one of those ones. It's probably like half a metre up. Like you can step onto it, but it's a little bit. It's higher than a curb, lower than a box.
Love that scale. I'm going to use that so much.
Yeah, because boxes are such a defined size.
Or famously one size. Yeah.
It's quite poetic, that. I feel quite emotional hearing that.
But at the back,
Higher than a
there
box.
was, so to get off the stage, there was like some steps and like a ramp at the back. But when he finished, Eluned Morgan fucking ran. And instead of going around the back, she like jumped onto the stage, probably from all the dancing training. And like she kind of leapt up and like went to like embrace him as though she was kind of coming on next. But she wasn't on next.
No!
But she obviously wanted to very visibly go. Firstly, I speak to him. He knows who I am. I'm lobbying him. Look at this. We are two governments working together, but we are, critical friends.
Yeah, I am Eleanor.
I am Eleanor. So she went up, like, kind of shook his hand, hugged him, and then turned.
Is that allowed at work?
She then turned to the microphone. She turned to face the audience, and she said, "I've got a big long list of things for you before the election." And he was like, ha 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 ha. They embraced, he left.
Oh, that's so awkward.
So
I'm actually clammy thinking about it.
We're going to come back to the event in a minute, but I want to kind of talk to you about this list. So I've got this big list of things.
Learn my fucking name.
Oh, it is an audacity. Isn't
I mean,
it's unbelievable.
It's pretty disrespectful, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the best bit is then, the next day, I went to a thing called Politico Pub. So the organisation Politico builds like a mini pub at all the
Sounds like
conferences.
An absolute hooch.
Oh yeah, I mean it's
Lads.
it's wall to wall late virginity losers.
Yeah.
I should go next year.
So
When I've lost my virginity.
Yeah.
father of two.
I've got two kids. Who are they?
So I went to that and she was being interviewed and she was asked a question by a BBC journalist was there because she was on the Politico podcast, but other journalists were there and they went to audience questions and the BBC Wales journalist said, What's on your list that you said you've got for Keir Starmer? What got anything on it? She goes, I'm not going to tell you my list. And I was like, why? Why are you?
Sounds Santa. Do you know what I mean? Jeez.
I have got a long list of demands. I will demand them from the Prime Minister. What are they? You don't know.
It's a secret list.
So anyway, I then spoke to her a bit later and I said kind of, what are you demanding? Like you can't try and win like political capital from saying I'm demanding things but not say what they are. Because,
I mean, that is a very, very good metaphor for Welsh Labour over the last 2 years or so. We are asking questions.
Yeah.
What are the questions? I'll never tell.
the fiddle starts up.
Yeah. Sorry, I've got to go and do a twmpath. I'll see you later.
I'm sorry, I'm stripping the willow.
So what are we just expected to vote for Labour blindly?
So
Sure.
I then asked her and she said, I want investment in Wales. I was like, okay, what sort of investment? And she said,
specific.
Things like AI, digital, tech, big, like well-paid jobs. I was like, okay, can you elaborate a little bit on that? Because this does feel like very much like, I think that internet's going to be big.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, so anything constitutional? Any of the things, you guys have demanded around like, I don't know, HS2, Crown Estate, devolution of justice, reform of the Barnett formula, which we're going to come on to at some point one of these days. Well, as soon as I hand the final book draft in, it's totally almost written, I promise. She said, well, we're going to keep asking those questions and they will come. And I was like, will they come before the Senate election? She basically indicated, I don't think they will come by then, but they will come. And I was just thinking, they're fucking not. There's no appetite at all for any of those things.
I back you. So what did you exactly say? What did you say about this twmpath that caused national outrage?
To be fair, it was one person who messaged me and they'd been a long-term supporter.
That's enough in the press to say national outrage because one person.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, furious.
Commenters furious.
Watchers of the chase shocked when Bradley Walsh does.
I back you. There's a time and a place. Do you know what I mean? I love a twmpath as much as the next person, but We don't go to Liverpool and do. It's one of those things like it's an in the home chat. Do you know when there's certain conversations you're like that's an in the house conversation?
Do you know what?
I think at Twmpath they're like let's keep it in Wales. We don't go to Liverpool and be like oh we brought you our culture. Here's a Twmpath.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things like so when the fiddle started playing, every single.
If you're just tuning in now, you're listening to Full Wales See Wales.
When the fiddle starts to play.
Love that.
I was stood with a couple of MSs, a couple of MPs, who had been like kind of doing their duty and kind of clapping the speeches and stuff. It's kind of like that kind of barn Cayley dance kind of thing. You've got the person who's like calling out the steps.
Yeah.
And as that guy descended,
And they love it, don't they?
Oh.
They love it so much.
And don't get me wrong, like if you had a birthday and we were going to do this, it's fucking great fun.
So much fun.
My
So
best
much
mate,
fun.
who I was like, I was a groomsman for, he had he lives in Glasgow and he had a Cayley for his wedding. Like, it was awesome.
So much fun. So much better than a disco, I think, personally.
It's good if people buy into it. The second that started playing, all the MSs and MPs just like faded, back to another Simpsons reference. You know when Homer just goes back into the hedge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like a year 7 boy at a school disco and they just stand around the wall, basically. Maybe the odd knee slide. Did any MS's knee slide across the floor?
That is such a year 7 boy.
Yeah.
Like, or they'll try
Like
and
a
do
Haribo.
Yeah, they'll do like or one of them knows how to moonwalk. And everyone's going, whoa!
Yeah, it's a little circle. Like one kid knows how to dance really well.
Yeah.
And all the other boys are like really jealous. So jealous.
Yeah. And then they're like, oh, they look so lame. And then all the girls start talking to that guy and they're like, Or it's the guy who did like gymnastics when he was growing up and still can do like a flip.
Do a flip.
Yeah. Oh, the boys who could just whip out a flip now and again. Anybody whip out a flip at Welsh night?
Yeah.
No.
No Drakeford flip.
But no, so Drakeford wasn't actually at Welsh night.
Interesting.
Unless he was the man in the mask with the fiddle.
This feels very sort of eyes wide shut. Is everyone in masks?
Yeah, but
it's got very sexy all of a sudden.
So at its peak, there was 14 people dancing out of the kind of probably 80 people there. The only elected representative who was Eluned Morgan.
Oh, wow. Then quick, fair play.
Which I'm not knocking her.
Yeah.
Like,
she loves dancing.
Oh my God, no wonder she can like leap up onto a stage.
Yeah, she's
like,
live.
Yeah, it's just pure core. She's live.
I actually respect that. She's showing like she's not got too much of an ego. She's getting stuck in. She doesn't have to speak to anybody.
Do you know what? I kind of thought like, I mean, it's cringy as hell, but she is kind of leading in her own way. She's not hiding. She's not like
she's leading in her own way.
We're really clutching at straws.
Yeah. So I'm not knocking her for doing it. I do want to talk to you a little bit about the mood there because we've had that polling recently. It wasn't as bleak as I expected it to be, and I think the entire reason of that is: did you notice the change in tone from Keir Starmer recently, where he said, I think reforms policies are racist, and they actually started going after them a bit.
Yeah.
That bit of fight, that idea that, we're not just going to kind of lie down and say, yes, come on in, reform. That fact there was a little bit of fight seemed to actually give people a bit of oomph. And the analogy I used was, for the previous year, they've been having to go up. If you're a Labour activist, you're actually defending why you're cutting like winter fuel balance and money for disabled people. And now you get to argue racism's wrong. And that is a much more motivating...
It's probably a relief, isn't it?
It's finally showing what they stand for. It's not this like, we want change, and then you just deliver 12 months of basically the same government before you. It's actually taking a stand for something as opposed to... it's easy to say what you're against, sure. What are you for? And it seemed like, he did a bit of that at Starmer during his speech. He then, did a little bit of flag shagging as well.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see them line like
front
I saw
row.
like Ed Miliband and them like they were all sat there with their little flags and it was like it's so obvious what that is. It's little like, if you are from look at us, we like the flag too. Put them down. They look like like on an exchange trip, or you've got like a school trip of young children abroad and they've all got to like carry something or wear a tabard so the teacher doesn't lose them.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they look like.
Keir Starmer's holding up like a clipboard.
Yeah, exactly.
And everyone else is like following with a flag.
They've all got their little flags. It's just a bit grotesque, to be honest. It is a shame. I saw that and I thought it was a shame given the fight back against the racism. But then to go, but we still love the flag though. Don't forget we love the flag. But I think maybe that's because maybe personally I find like the Union Jack and like the St. George's flag quite jarring. He
did say a comment on flags, Keir Starmer, in his speech. He said, I'm not just proud of the Union Jack and the Cross of St. George. I'm also proud of the Saltire, proud of the Red Dragon, proud of our Union. this astonishing relationship between 4 great nations, 4 different nations, but 4 nations that time and again have been through the fire together, built so much together. A country forged by the solidarity of working people. So let's fly our flags, because they are our flags. They belong to all of us.
And people started doing it at that point.
And we will never surrender them.
Oh, for God.
This is a time of bringing the whole country together. That's how we will fight the next election, as patriots of our great nations. That's who we are. That's who Eluned is. Checks notes. That's who Anas is.
Eleanor Rigby.
Liverpool, yeah. A campaign to renew Wales, renew Scotland, renew Britain.
I'm sorry, I know this isn't for Wales, see Northern Ireland. He ignored Northern Ireland so much during this speech. He ignored them during that bit. They were mentioning football earlier on. It's like, if England play Scotland or Wales, I wouldn't want them to win. I was like, that's weird. He's ignored Northern Ireland. But he didn't continuously.
I wonder what the reasoning for that is.
Because it's so complicated and it scares him.
Yeah. But it scares me too. So I feel like nervous about talking about it publicly. But I'm not the Prime Minister.
I mean, he could just not talk about fucking flags.
Yeah. Did they all start? Is that when they started waving the flag?
It was like the last night of the proms.
Oh, for crying out loud!
Do you want to know what was funny
ick.
about the Chancellor Exchequer's speech? Rachel Reeves.
Sure.
She did a 44-minute speech. Mentioned Wales twice, both times to say how good they'd been to Wales about rail.
Are you taking the mick? Is that genuine? I bet you were furious, weren't you? I bet you were furious.
Seriously? That's fucking funny.
Not going to lie to you. There was a really long queue to get in for her speech. Thought, screw that. Went to the cafeteria, put it in my headphones, and then just did Control F on the speech.
The gaslighting is unreal.
Or maybe she was referring to us as Cymru, Will, and you didn't search for that.
Yeah, that's what she was doing. That's what she was doing.
Let's fact check that first.
Final thing I'll just say is there was one particular line which is caused a bit of a stir, put the cat amongst the pigeons, ruffled some feathers, which I imagine would happen if there was a cat among pigeons.
Yeah.
She said that Labour was facing a real hell of a fight against divisive nationalism from Plaid Cymru and Reform. They are a different poison in the same bottle.
It's a bad line.
It is.
It doesn't make sense.
So what was it? Same poison, different bottle, or different poison, same
different
bottle?
Different poison, same bottle.
Different poisons in one bottle.
How do you do different liquids in the same bottle?
It's a cocktail.
Yeah.
If it's Farage, it's a Moscow Mule.
Sure. Yeah. What kind of baby Guinness bullshit is this?
I mean, would they separate?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're separated.
Reform
back of a spoon.
Curdle was Plaid. So she said, people are angry, disillusioned. Our voice, the voice that has always fought them, is getting drowned out by a carnival of charlatans and the circus of snake oil salesmen.
That is funny, though, but also so funny because it's kind of not believable.
Reform blame foreigners, Plaid blame Westminster. I'm going to get on a limb and say I have heard a Labour politician blame Westminster for some stuff over the last 15 years.
I know one Labour politician who has a list for Westminster. So
and she's checking it twice. The challenge that I can understand why Labour are trying to counter Plaid Cymru. All their voters are going there. What I think is going to be is an odd thing to do is the first thing is you want to win Plaid voters back. And saying that the messaging is poison, the same as Reform, well, same bottle, is, I think, problematic. Also, she ruled out, when I spoke to her, she said, we would never do a deal with Reform. Fair enough. Yeah. Clearly, they're going to have to do a deal with Plaid Cymru if they're going to be in power in any form.
Also, they've been happy for Labour to prop them up for how long?
Yeah, Plaid to prop them up, yeah.
Yes, yeah. So they've been happy with Plaid's poison up until now.
Well, and also
poison.
Plaid's poison.
Yeah.
Poison by the Rena Court.
If Clear Griffin hasn't done a TikTok with that now, where you do like a fake perfume advert, you can have that one for free.
Yeah.
Plaid poison. Do it. Invoice me. I've started charging them after I said I could do it for free.
Should,
do it for free. Invoice me.
It's gone up, and every minute you don't do it, it's £100.
So they are going to have to go into a coalition with someone when you've said their policies are poisonous, and I think that could be a challenge for them. I think that's a little bit problematic.
It's a short-term thing. This is very short-termism. Also, to suggest that Plaid and Reform are
cut from the same cloth.
Yeah, it seems baffling. I
think there's a lot of very legitimate reasons to criticise Plaid Cymru and question the lines they put out on particular issues and question the consistency of their policies across different areas. What I don't think you can suggest is that they have policies which seek to treat people of different colours as other.
They're different things. You don't have to support Plaid Cymru to recognise that they do not produce the kind of vitriol or incite the kind of hatred that Reform do.
Do you think that she's suggesting that, because some people think that those on the left and Plaid of being like hating Britain, you know, like that idea that you're so pro-Welsh and so pro-Welsh independence that you are antagonistic towards English and British people. Is that the angle that's the poison
they are
she's talking about?
Basically, what they're saying is you vote Plaid, you get like kind of divisive division, you get like kind of, I was about to say the British version of Brexit, like the UK constitutional version of Brexit. That's what they're trying to leave, paint on
that kind of thing. Yeah.
Labour have shown more fight. And they seem to have some umph about them, but that's like, you know, they've been for so long the balloon that a kid has at their party, but a month after the birthday. You know, when it's just in the corner of the dining room.
What a sad image.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting what you were saying, though, that the mood wasn't actually that somber. I mean, it should be. I dare say it will be next year.
But I imagine that's the mood within Welsh Labour sombre. UK, they've still got 4 years.
Yeah, true.
And they've got that, seemingly if they've got a bit of hope and this sort of, I saw one journalist say, neither one of you two, I saw one journalist say that renewal, you know, Renew Britain is a good concept to sort of stand for, but whether they can deliver that as a concept. But this idea of, it is broken, you know, public services are shit, we can renew this and we can choose a path to do that. That's you know, that's a positive sort of yes we can type attitude, which, and you know, a lot of, you know, Mark Carney in Calendar going against this sort of divisive Trump stuff. Maybe if Trump can say he'll make the UK the 51st, 2nd, 3rd state, maybe that'll work for Starmer in 4 years. Who knows?
I think it's really interesting what you say about can they deliver stuff, because I had some conversations with a few other journalists. They asked after you, Mel. And they were... I'm not actually snarky about this. I'm very pleased at you for you. I think a really good point that I heard quite a few times was, whatever you think of Tony Blair and New Labour when they came in, the way they took the country, that kind of, for want of a better word, because I actually kind of hate this phrase, that neoliberal outlook. I think they at least had people in senior positions who had intelligence, like were very clever, had vision, and were also incredibly self-assured in what they were trying to do. I think the challenge that we have with the current crop of, and I'm not picking out particular individuals, but I think generally when you look at the cabinet that Labour have, there is a real gap in like talent. There's some people who are fine. There's people all right. There's people who are quite good. But to when you are leading a country in the position that the UK is in, you need to be so bold and clever and just insightful. And you need to have, it's not just, we need to tinker, we need to tweak. You got to be, you need a real depth of like self-assurance and intellect, and if you haven't got that, you need to surround yourself with people who do.
Why is that though? I love the idea of like, if you're the cleverest person in the room, you should go to a different room, that kind of thing. Like why, given the landslide that Labour have and all the people they have to pick with, why is there not that talent there? I mean it's a deep question about like what we attract into politics. We're sort of people that are likely to rise up a political party, like and by the way, I'm not saying you need to be really, really clever to be a good politician, but I think what you need to, like, politics is there's an art to it. And I think we've got a lot of people who, even if they're not like, you don't need to be like a policy bod, but you do need to be able to think strategically and long term, and whilst also kind of parrying that day-to-day crisis, which is just government.
And also they've been in opposition for such a long time as well. And I think there's a very big difference between people who can, you know, I know they can still affect change in opposition, don't get me wrong, but they're, you know, they're more limited. And I think there will be people who get experience in this term who, if Labour were to win a majority again, probably would be able to bring more to a ministerial role in the next term. It's interesting, like, with every sort of minister like moving jobs every 6 months with every scandal as well. It's such an inefficient way to make the country better when you're like, because of this, therefore you and everything you've worked on the last year change places. We're going to move you to that table because you've been talking.
And I think the thing also to say is when you have got into power and your campaign was keep quiet, let the Tories mess it up, you're not coming in saying, this is our vision, this is what we're going to do, we want to come and do X, Y, and Z. You've already brought the public along with you. You've thought, we need to get rid of the Tories, let's get in. Right, we're in. Now what do we do?
Yeah.
And that is a problem because New Labour, when they came in, we're going to do X, Y, and Z.
Government in waiting.
Well, that's why, how quickly did the referendums for devolution in Scotland and Wales happen? Really, really, really quickly. That happened. Someone's going to ask me. I think it was within a year that the actual vote happened. I think it was 98, and then it was 99. It came in. Can you imagine, Keir Starmer's government organising a referendum in the last year? They'd have never have got, I think part of the problem is they just didn't come into government with an actual vision. They came in going, we want to be in government. They're like people who, they don't want to be with a particular person. They want to be in a relationship. So they do all they can to get into a relationship. And then when they get in it, they're like, well, this was the goal. It's not like whether they're with the right person or if it works right or what they're looking for in a partner. They've just gone, I'm in a relationship. Hooray!
Yeah. This is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, aren't I doing great? Oh, this isn't working. Better have kids. ID cards.
Lovely kids' names, to be fair.
Yeah, really nice.
ID and card.
Yeah.
Nice. That was Labour conference. I think maybe our next live show we should do a twmpath. Twmpath.
Oh, don't tempt me.
We'd probably get more uptake than they did.
We'll get Eluned Morgan.
Oh, I should love it.
Eluned, is it?
Elena.
Eric.
Eric Morgan.
Esther
Morgan.
Esther Morgan.
Bless her.
An express episode today, guys, but I liked it. We were snappy, but boom, boom, boom.
Very nice. We've all got twompaths to get to.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it was an express episode because, as we know, Rachel Reeves, they've helped us a lot with trains.
Thank you very much, Rachel. See you next week.
See you next week.
See you next week. I might see you in the press office, Mel.
Oh, yeah. He hates it.
He really hates it. Really hates it.
I'm going to go before Will kills me.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.